Before the dust storms, before the red deserts stretched endlessly beneath the thin sky, Mars was not the lifeless rock we know today. Long ago, perhaps millions of years before humans walked the Earth, Mars was alive. It had rivers and oceans, clouds and forests, a vibrant sky tinted blue at dusk. And at the height of its golden age, it was home to an advanced civilization, a species whose memory has been nearly erased, whose legacy now lies buried beneath crimson sands. We do not speak of Martians with antennas, but of a race as ancient as the stars. According to fringe researchers, these beings built cities that stretched 4 miles, powered by unknown energies. They mapped the cosmos, studied frequencies, and created monuments aligned not just to stars but to consciousness itself. Their architecture, it is said, could respond to thought. Their technology was biological, crystalline, and harmonic. They lived in balance with the planet until something shattered that peace. Today, only clues remain, shards of truth, scattered across official satellite imagery and ancient texts on Earth. It began with a photograph. In 1976, NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft sent back images of a region known as Cydonia Menor. Among them, a single frame captured the world's attention, a colossal formation resembling a human face, carved into the surface of Mars. The face on Mars became an icon of mystery. At over a mile wide, it stared skyward with a symmetrical gaze, its features eerily lifelike. Was it an illusion of light and shadow, or the eroded remnant of a statue like the Sphinx? But not of this world. Beside the face were other anomalies. Pyramid-like structures arranged in geometric patterns, angular ridges and formations that seemed precise to be natural. To some, they looked like a ruined city. Engineers and mathematicians studied their alignments, claiming they mirrored sacred geometry, perhaps once used to harvest energy, transmit knowledge, or anchor planetary frequencies. Mainstream scientists called it coincidence, but for many, this was only the beginning. Researchers like Richard C. Hoagland argued that these formations were not only artificial but deliberate, part of a planetary legacy covered up by space agencies. They pointed to Mars' geological scars as evidence of a cataclysm, a sudden and devastating event that turned a once thriving world into the silent wasteland we see today. Could Mars have suffered a planet-wide disaster, a war, a self-inflicted collapse, or something even greater? In 2014, physicist Dr. John Brandenburg proposed that Mars showed signs of ancient nuclear explosions. Isotope concentrations, he claimed, pointed to unnatural events, possibly weaponized. To some, it sounded absurd, but to others, it fit the puzzle perfectly. Ancient texts from Earth speak of cosmic wars, gods battling in the skies, cities destroyed by fire from above. Could these legends be fragments of Martian history, carried to Earth by survivors? Because that's the next piece of the theory. But the Martians, didn't all perish? Some escaped. In Sumerian mythology, the gods came from the heavens, from a planet beyond, one that suffered a great catastrophe. They arrived on Earth with knowledge of the stars, mathematics, agriculture, and law. They built ziggurats, temples, and cities aligned with celestial bodies. They taught mankind, or, in some stories, created them. The tablets call these beings the What if the Anunnaki were not from Nibiru, as many suggest, but refugees from ancient Mars? If so, their monuments on Earth at Giza, Teotihuacan, Baalbek may not have been there first. There could be echoes of lost Martian architecture, adapted for a new world. Earth, then, is not the cradle of civilization but the ark. In the conspiracy lore, Mars is not just a mystery of the past, it is a secret of the present. Some claim NASA and other agencies have already discovered Martian ruins and scrub or distort images before public release. Others believe Mars rovers have filmed metallic fragments, fossilized remains, or even small living beings only, to have them dismissed as rocks or dust artifacts. Every curious anomaly is waved away, but the pattern is persistent. Why hide it? Because the implications are too vast. If a civilization once lived on Mars, it rewrites history, not just our own, but the history of the entire solar system. It suggests that life is not rare, but that intelligence is not unique to Earth, but cyclical, rising, falling, migrating, and it calls into question our understanding of our origins, our destiny, and the forces that shape them. Could Mars be a mirror, a glimpse into what happens when a civilization reaches too far, too fast? A warning encoded in the silence of another world? Or is it more than that? Some believe Mars still holds active relics, machines that sleep beneath the sand, energy nodes buried deep underground, portals or stargates awaiting reactivation. These devices, they say, are not entirely dead, only dormant, shielded from detection until the proper frequency awakens them. And when they do, we may see Mars not as a dead planet, but as a forgotten archive. In dreams, visions, and altered states, people have claimed to see glimpses of ancient Martian life, vast cities with domes and spires, tall beings of light and thought, storms that shimmered with color. Some say children today are reincarnated souls from Mars, indigo children, remembering their roles in a lost war. These are dismissed as fantasy, yet they persist unexplained, vivid, unshaken. Perhaps Mars is calling us back, not to conquer, but to remember. As missions to Mars accelerates, or echoes of ourselves, will we uncover monuments buried in time? Will we find scripts, glyphs, technology, proof? Or will we discover that the silence on Mars is a silence chosen? Perhaps the old civilization knew we would return, and perhaps they left their knowledge, not in machines, but in frequencies, in symbols, in us. Because maybe the greatest monument they left is not on the surface of Mars, but within our very DNA, a story, a warning, a promise. And as we step onto that red world again, we must ask, are we the explorers, or are we the descendants?